Hi, Mark, top local lead generation. We're here with Bernie Pawlik. Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, 16-time winners of Best Auto Repair in Vancouver, as voted by their clients. How you doing, Bernie?
Doing very well.
So we're going to talk about a Toyota Yaris. 2009, there was a water pump problem. What was happening with this Toyota?
Well, the owner originally brought the vehicle to us not for a water pump problem, but for a strange noise that was happening. It seemed like a suspension noise in the vehicle. So we had the vehicle for a couple of days, and the first day we drove it, we could hear quite a loud racket that seemed like a suspension rattle in the front of the vehicle, but it only happened under certain circumstances. We did a full comprehensive inspection on the vehicle and actually never really found anything wrong with the suspension, which was surprising, but we did find the water pump was leaking. And while we did the water pump, we found a couple of other interesting issues along with that. Basically, when we went to replace the water pump, so the water pump was leaking, and I'll share a photograph here. So there's our Yaris, 2009 Yaris. There's the water pump. And actually, I'm one picture ahead of where I want to be. That reddish colored stuff around there's a red plug there. That is antifreeze. Toyota antifreeze is a red color, and that's antifreeze that's been leaking out of the water pump. So the water pump was leaking, and that was evident and needed to be replaced. What we found that was interesting when we replaced the water pump is that the bearing was so badly worn in the water pump that the pulley was rubbing against the water pump housing, and that red arrow points to the pulley's that sort of, how do I best describe it, the shinier, smoother piece at the bottom of the picture, and that's touching the housing of the water pump right where the red arrow is pointing, and that shouldn't be happening. That's there should be clearance of about 1/8 of an inch in that area. So the bearing is worn so badly, the water pump housing was rubbing, and in the end, we figured that this was actually what was causing the noise. Strange that it seemed like a suspension noise, but actually under certain circumstances, the noise seemed to be occurring while you're driving. So so that's what we found.
So do water pumps fail like this on Toyotas?
You know what? Actually, water pumps seem to be one of the most common failure items on Toyotas. As I've said for years, they're extremely reliable vehicles. And I still say that to this day. They're very reliable, but it seems like almost every Toyota we look at seems to need a water pump sooner or later. So that seems to be the one part that fails quite frequently on Toyotas. We've done them on all sorts of V6s, 4-cylinders, Yarises, Highlanders, just every make and model.
So if I was a Toyota owner, is there anything I can do to look after my water pump?
No, I think it's just something that's going to fail over time. It's just the way the part's made. Flushing the cooling system is really the only thing that. The water pump is a very simple device. It's a belt-driven pump. The only thing that's in there is the antifreeze, the only fluid in there, and it's all modern antifreezes in cars are long life antifreezes. They're meant to last for 5 to 10 years and 150,000 or more kilometers. So there's really nothing you can do to flush it out. The belts are just a lot of times self-tensioned, or when they're at their proper tension, they last as long as they do. It's just one of those things that it'll wear out when it wears out.
So a few years ago, Toyota really got beat up in the press about some problems that they had. So how are Toyota vehicles these days?
Oh, they're excellent. I don't think really, honestly, there was ever really a lot wrong with them, and I think the media just jumped on it and went crazy because Toyota was especially in the American media, because Toyota was overtaking the American manufacturers as being the biggest in the world. I have maybe it's a bit of a conspiracy theory, but I have a feeling there were some people who didn't like it very much and pointed some flaws out. Not that there weren't some problems and things to be fixed, but they're really. It blew over so fast, and it's nothing you ever hear about anymore. So, Toyotas were always reliable all the way through. Toyota stepped up, fixed up what they needed to do, and they're still amazing, reliable cars to this day. I highly recommend them.
So if you're looking for service on your Toyota of any kind, the guys to see are Pawlik Automotive. You can call them at 604-327-7112 or check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com. Thanks, Bernie.
Thank you, Mark.